Hey friends, this is Christy Hartman. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Carrot Gel Prints and Quirky Zombies. This is episode 1 of a two-part adventure where we're building a whimsical folio, perfect for happy mail, spooky smiles, and all things creatively weird. In this episode, we'll start with the base, using chipboard, some juicy carrot gel prints, and a whole lot of imagination. Grab your supplies and let's get creative. These two zombies are actually going to become stamps for pmartiststudio, and you should look for their release to come out the month of August. They're going to be a little bit different than these two because I refined them. We are going to make a folio, which will look like this one. These two zombies are going to be part of a larger grouping of, I believe, between 5 and 6. These are the folios that we're going to make in the next 2 videos. Part 1 will be where we build the folio, we color our zombies, and then in part 2 we will add the clasp. We will stamp and color our zombie cats as well as our carrots, and we will add some different types of embellishments to make. Let's talk about the sizes of the materials that you're going to need for this project. Anyway, you'll need 2 pieces that are 2 inches by 7 3/4. You could make them 8 if you preferred. And then this bigger piece is 4 inches by 7 3/4. For the smaller size, you need, this one is 6 inches by 4 inches, and these two are 2 inches by 6 inches. You will need some sort of tape to bind it all with. This is a Lineco bookbinding tape. You do not have to use Lineco. Gaffer tape works. You can use duct tape. You could probably even use a heavier duty masking tape if that's what you have. Use what you have. We're going to start by putting this together, and I specifically got my grid out so I could line this up perfectly so that I have enough room to make a hinge. I usually go right at about 1/4 of an inch for my hinge, and that's usually okay. I took a strip of my Lineco tape like this, and it's just a little longer so I can go over the edges. I'm going to just eyeball it, tear it right down through the center. This will go right here. Then I'm going to pick this up. Hopefully I maintained my edges. I did. I'm going to use my bone folder, pull that up, try and get it nice and flat along the bottom. I'm going to go inside. I'm going to do the same thing here. And then with my next strip, which I cut just a little shorter, not short enough obviously, but I did try. I'm going to go right over the top of it, going down inside it. And now this Lineco tape is a fabric tape. It's a little more expensive, but like I said, use what you want, use what you have. Okay, there we have our first hinge. All right, let's line up this other one. perfect. Closes perfectly. It's going to open like that, close like that. We'll do a closure on the front of it. Perfect. All right, I'm going to put together this tall one. When I come back, we'll start covering the fronts and the inside. I have decided that on these, I'm going to use papers that I gel printed in a video called Carrots, Carrots, and More Carrots, I believe. And I'll link the video down below. But these are the gel prints that I'm using in the two smaller cards. And I've already cut these, and I cut them so that I had a little bit of a black border. Now I need to decide the front. I don't want it to be the same paper. I want to use this paper. How wide do I need? 2 inches should do it. By just a little over 6. Okay, I trimmed these down just a bit because I thought they were a little bit too big. So I think those will give just a scant black border. Let's glue one on. That looks really, really good. I love that. All right. I'll do the same thing to this one. Here I've got the front done. I'll do the inside and I'll be back. All right, I have these cut and I will glue these on. Recording. All right, we'll put these on. All of these are good. They're all got their backgrounds in. They're shimmery, shiny, just really beautiful. Here's the outside of these two. I love that. I love the way I did the border here. Okay, next step will be on to start designing the inside. So let's get started doing the inside. The inside is going to be these two cute little zombies. I printed these out on my laser printer on cardstock. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut around these, but I'm going to leave just a little bit of an edge. So let's grab the folio and put her in. And let me cut out the little boy zombies. All right, so he's cut. He almost doesn't fit in this, and I did measure actually. You can size yours differently, of course, depending upon what size Mariah makes these stamps. But this was my illustration size, so this is what I'm using. I will glue the little girl. I'll get the other little boy glued down. I'll let this dry, and I'll be back. As I mentioned before, yours will look slightly different because these are the original illustrations. The stamp is made to look like a stamp. So yours will look somewhat different. I printed these on cardstock. It's just a card making weight of cardstock. It's not a heavy cardstock. I'm going to go back over the top of my lines. And I'm just going to sketch my lines back in because I want them darker. I will finish outlining the two little boys, this little zombie girl, and I'll be back in a flash. I think we're going to use a combination of colored pencils, some gel pens. This is my swatch booklet for my colored pencils. And it's just a little traveler's notebook that I have purposed for my colored pencils. So here are my peaches. I think I'll start with the light flesh because even though he's a zombie, I still want him to have human features. So let's start with the light peach. And I like to work with colored pencils from light to dark. And I do believe I have talked about this before in other videos. If you have not watched my gnome video, you may want to go back and look at it because I might give some additional information about colored pencils in that video. Let's go with this peach. This is just pink, $9.29. Let's give him a little pink cheek. Now, this is a blending pencil. This is a Lyra one. They're all different brands. I don't use that a lot. I prefer to use a lighter shade to blend my colors together. And I want some white in and around his face anyway because I want to enhance the highlights on his face. So I'm just going to kind of blend those pencil marks, and I'm coloring very lightly with my white colored pencil. Can you see that? My older grandson, his favorite color these days is fluorescent orange, so I think we'll do some orange, maybe for his shirt. So let's start with the shirt. Okay, let's do a little shading with, this was just basic orange, $9.18. This one is $9.21, pale vermilion. Okay, let's try going over the top of this with fluorescent orange, since this is my grandson's favorite color. I do have this canary yellow. I think we'll go over the top of this just a little bit with this canary yellow. I like that. It looks great. Red. And this is Tuscan Red, 937, which I like. I think we could deepen this just a little bit by using a little bit of this black raspberry. This is slate gray. Let's give that white just a little bit of a shadow here. And maybe we'll start with powder blue and then go light cerulean. There we go, that's the one I want. Okay, so this is just cerulean blue, and it's number 103. Let's go back to this powder blue, which was the first color we used, and let's just kind of blend those colors together. Okay, I think we'll do the patches with this green. This is chartreuse. It's number 989. I have these Star Sparks Decagel. This is my Star Sparks red. So I think we'll put a little bit of red right on these dots. Oh, that's cute. Look at how cute that is. Then on this one, I did his shirt with the greens, like I did the patches, and his stockings. Okay, just went with orange, vermilion to shade, and then the neon over the top of it. I think we'll do blue. Okay, I think we're going to do orange. Let's start with her heart earrings. I'm just using pomegranate. And let's do this pomegranate. I usually like to put somewhere in a design 3 times the same color. It just usually kind of works. And I also like to think of a triangle. So here we are going to have a triangle. So I'm going to make both of these this pomegranate. This is mulberry. I'm just going to come in and shade it a little bit. Let's do her bow pomegranate too. Then this is Process Red. And then I'm just going to kind of blend it all together with this pink. This is Yellow Green. Let's use this one for these dots. Let's do the same thing with her socks. Use the same colors that we just used. This is pomegranate. I think what we might do is do the lower part of her skirt, just a light pink. I'm going to grab that mulberry that we used up here, and we're just going to add a little darker shadow in here. Maybe we should do the same pink. I think so. Both of my grandsons are redheads, so I think I'm going to give these guys red hair. I think I want Scarlet Lake. And then I think I need Tuscan Red. I think we'll do orange. Thank you for joining me. This is part 1. Look for part 2, where we finish off this project of zombie folios. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Leave me a comment. I always love to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and I will see you in my next video.